former FBI Special Agent Jonathan Gilliam and former Tucson police detective Benjamin Jimenez. Benjamin, let's talk about what's going on there in Tucson, not necessarily the Tucson PD, but Pima County Sheriff's Department. There's a series of statements and positions that have been staked out by the sheriff that make it very hard to add up to where we are headed in this investigation.
We don't know. They're keeping their cards close to the vest, and I'm sure they're actively investigating the case. They're only going to release information to us as needed, hence the information about the family. But they are actively working it, and there's a lot of questions and answers we just don't know yet, and we will get, eventually they'll be released to us.
Just as a follow-up, Benjamin, how do you discount someone as a suspect at this point? How would he, at this stage in the investigation, be able to say none of the family is a suspect? Matt Finn asked if it were via DNA, and he said, I'm not going there.
Well, understandably so. He's not going to release that. In these type of investigations, you have to eliminate the family, and that was done early on. And up to what point, we don't know. It's not a very nice thing. It's something that we get involved in through a lot of questioning, through phone usage nowadays. So they're looking into all that, maybe even a polygraph. We've given those to eliminate family in the past, and I don't know if that was done in this case. It's not a very friendly topic that we like to talk about, but we do go through steps to eliminate the family, and
right.
Sometimes the family is very cooperative and other times they're not. It just depends. We don't know what happened in this case. I can understand him not wanting to talk about that, and but it's very difficult, but you do have to eliminate the family. Those questions were asked earlier on in this investigation. Is the family, eliminated? And
no matter how unpleasant it may be, it statistically is where you have to start any investigation. You have to start close to the victim. Jonathan, so there was a statement as well, I believe from this past weekend, where the Sheriff's Department said, we have not said this is a burglary gone bad. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure he positively said this wasn't a burglary gone bad, right, but he refuted the idea that that was coming from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. So not the family, not a burglary gone bad. What am I potentially left with here? A targeted kidnapping?
Well, they're kind of narrowing that in, at least the speculation. They're the ones doing the narrowing, right? I will say this, though. That comment that the sheriff made in response to the Fox News contributor
about the DNA?
He is not the voice of the family. Law enforcement does not swear an oath to the families to defend them from harsh words or things that they don't like said about them, or questions that are being asked. That's not his job. His job is to investigate this crime and in this case, run the investigation. He's taken so much time helping, concerned about this family. The reality is, if they're cleared as suspects, there's no reason to be saying this and going out and making a plea for them, because the more the suspects, the real suspects, don't know, the better. So why go out and say these things? I just think we're going down a road that is just kind of ridiculous and is keeping his name. We've seen this with judges and trials, and I think what we're seeing here is a lot of talk to make himself look like he's doing a lot, when in fact there is stuff being done behind the scenes. There's no doubt. Investigators are working hard. But I just think this type of stuff puts a black eye on what real investigators do. And we saw this with the university where they had the shooting. I think it was Brown University. We saw their press conference, horrible, put a black eye on what the real investigators were doing.
Okay, I want to ask you both really quickly. What do you make of this latest development that a car has been towed from the driveway of the home that was searched on Friday, Jonathan?
So a lot of these searches, I'd say all these searches are being done because of emergency circumstances, so they can get a warrant to go and look at these things because there's a potential hostage involved. So I think a lot of this is done with a reasonable suspicion, not probable cause. So, which is fine, but I think that's why we're seeing so many of these happen and then the people released, because they're looking at this as still a potential hostage situation.
Yeah. And Benjamin, that car being towed, this is sort of a second bite at the apple for this home or this person of interest. It would seem to suggest there was some further interest in this person. I'm hesitant to say a lead, because I don't know what a lead is anymore in Pima County, quite honestly, right now, or in this particular investigation. But it's something at that home.
Yeah, they went back. It's something that they may have missed, something that they discussed after the fact, and they went back to do what they had to do. I could have been a lead. And going back earlier, what you were saying about the sheriff, he's an elected official, so he's under a lot of pressure right now. He's looking down the road possibly, and there's a lot of discussion amongst the detectives with what's going on with the sheriff right now as well.
Right.
So that's why he's doing what he's doing.
All right, Benjamin, Jonathan, thank you both for being
If
here.
he wants to get reelected, solve the case.
Yeah,
That'd
Yes,
do
it
it.
does.
so always the best. Find the truth,
You
solve
got
the
it.
case. All right.